back out in the shed today, and a little backstory on this hugger and how it got to this point. I bought it off a guy pretty cheap. Wasn't running. He said it would try to run, but it just wouldn't go. I started digging, started cleaning things up, taking things off. Oh, this needs repair, I'll take that off, and the more I dug, the more stuff I found to fix, and that's how this got to this point. But I took the primary chain cover off. I found the tensioner guide here, and it was all twisted up, and you could see there's some scoring going this way, and that's how it was sitting in the primary chain case. Yeah, so the chain was running this way, and this was all twisted. I straightened it out, kind of a savage job, but I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not. I'll probably just buy a new one. I don't know how much they cost, but it looks kind of thin. There's a sight hole or something here, and I could see the plastic in the top, and it's not that thick there. But I don't know, we'll see when I get there. And I pulled the jugs off, and I found that there's a part missing on the piston here on the skirt, and yeah, it was broken off here, and I wondered where did that go. So I ended up taking the engine out of the bike and splitting it, and I found this piece in the crankcase. So while it was out, I got the crank all trued and that, and I just recently put the crankcase back together. Kind of unfortunate I had to take the engine out and that, but luckily enough, the last owner didn't get it started because that piece was in the crankcase. Who knows what would have happened. So I'm out here now trying to pretty this frame up. I got some lacquer thinner, and I was wiping off all this rattle can paint. It was like this. I still gotta wipe more of this off, but all this was spray painted flat black all the way up here. Kinda like this. But yeah, I was just gonna wipe all the paint off and give the frame a good polish, because I think sanding the frame down and repainting it ruins the value of the bike, whatever the value of this bike is. But at least it's original paint on the frame, and you know what's underneath it. I just wanted to clean it all off, so I knew what was underneath it, and it's not bad. This is just from where the seat is rubbing. Even mine, this bike was taken care of way better, but it has wear where the seat was, and I'm not too worried about that. But the swing arm is cleaning up nice. It had all black paint here, just thick black paint. Has some rocker guard here still, or some kind of rubber stuff I'm trying to scrub off still. And the front fender, it was buckled here, and I just straightened the fender out and got the buckle out. And when I worked on that buckle, a bunch of the paint started chipping, and I started peeling away the layers with a razor blade there, trying to figure out what color this bike used to be. Oh, and there is a bunch of paint down on the side here, house paint or something, all dripped along the side here, and someone spray painted it all black. The swing arm too is spray painted all flat black, but it's shining up pretty nice. So I found some of that white paint, been scraping it off. under the swing arm and on the frame there. It's all dripping down there. It's like, I don't know, white house paint's really thick. Whatever it is, it's tough. Took a little break here from wiping the frame down with thinners. It's getting a little lightheaded. Got the fan going. So in the meantime, I was investigating this primary chain adjuster a little bit more, and you can see here that there's some thread marks in the side of it, and they match up pretty good with this tensioning screw here. So that's what I'm guessing happened. Someone left the adjusting screw up and the screw pushed against the side of this tensioner, and when they put the cover on, you know, they must have had to put a lot of force and effort into, you know, twisting this until they get it flush up against with the crankcase. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Now I can kind of understand why they wanted to go, but just wouldn't keep going. Well, I got the other side pretty much cleaned off the way I'd like it. I started working on this side. I got the bike moved over, and yeah, a lot of it was just rattle can paint, flat black, and it was covering stuff up. Like here there was some blue paint. I guess the bike was painted blue before, and you know, like the people just spray painted the black over top of the blue. And there's just like little nicks here and there, and they would spray paint that black just to cover it up. They went crazy with that flat black. Yeah, I got both sides of the frame wiped down with thinners. A lot of it over here was just covering up little chips and scratches. Here looks like it's been sanded. I got all that paint off the bottom of the swing arm, like all that white paint there was all on the bottom of the swing arm and on the frame. There's more rattle can on that top of the swing arm, on the frame over here. I think it looks way better than what it was. I know the seat covers this stuff, but I might take some black touch-up paint and just, you know, dab it here and there. I won't go too crazy right here. The tank comes up to here and the seat here, I think, so I think I'm gonna put a polish on it and see what it looks like. Right, I threw a polish on there. It's not the kind that I want. I'd like a wax, maybe like a, you know, a medium cutting wax than an actual polishing wax. But this is just a polish to, you know, just do some regular maintenance on your paint, but it did a pretty good job. Like even here where it's sanded, it brightened it up a bit there. And right there, that was all flat black paint there. And now it's all nice and shiny. Pretty happy I'm done with wiping all the paint paint off. That paint thinners is pretty nasty stuff. Here, it's all nice and shiny now. There they had flat black paint there just to cover up those chips. And it looks like they sanded it down to put the paint on. Like later when I put everything on, I'll just do a fine detail touch-ups, you know, waxing, all that. They're looking pretty good. I did some digging and I found some bolts for my gas tank, and these were what were in there. It's just in there all loose, flopping around. And I put these handlebars are from this bike here, and I put those handlebars on because the bars that were on here were hitting the tank. So that's gonna be my next step, is to get this tank on there and get the old handlebars and see what I can do to get the handlebars to clear so they're not smashing into the tank. But I'm gonna call it a night and cut this video here. Thanks for coming to hang out with me